evening, my lovely fangs. I'm Kasara, and this is my Cavern of Secrets. For those of you that don't know, I hope you all are doing amazingly well. Tonight's movie review is The Exorcist Believer. I'll try not to disclose spoilers for those who have yet to see this one, and for good reason. This actually did not get good reviews. Many people were very disappointed in this one. And I actually have only seen the first 3 films before this one. So, The Exorcist, The Exorcist 2, The Heretic, and The Exorcist 3. I'm not sure what that one is, to be honest, off the top of my head. And then, of course, this one. Supposedly, the order is Exorcist the Beginning, Dominion, The Exorcist 2, The Heretic, The Exorcist 3, then The Exorcist Believer, and finally The Exorcist Deceiver. I don't know if that's true. Let me know in the comments if that's the correct way to watch these films. Or if you think there's a better order. And let me know what you think of all of those and if I should watch the others in the franchise series, whatever you want to call it. So, The Exorcist Believer is about 2 young girls who are best friends that become possessed by evil spirits. Okay, demons. What a surprise. However, how they became possessed was a little different from the original film in the franchise, which was a relief that it wasn't a Ouija board. Although, in both films, the girls become possessed after trying to communicate with the dead. What a surprise. Again, it's so cliche with possession films. There's really nowhere they go that's different, and I hate that. This one, however, did explore different religious viewpoints in terms of exorcism and possession, which I thought was interesting and a nice touch since there is a lot of different beliefs surrounding the topic. And possession and exorcism have been around for a long time, yes, but Christianity is the only one that is violent. Most possession is not, and exorcism is not this violent event. The Christian way is very violent in terms of what occurs during the exorcism. With that said, I still was disappointed with the movie. It didn't have that same lasting effect as the first film or even come close to other possession films. The Conjuring film still makes me uneasy every time I watch it. Same thing with The Exorcism of Emily Rose. It's the atmosphere in those films. And The Exorcism of Emily Rose is actually my absolute favorite possession film. Probably because they mix in the court aspect. And they do explore the mental health portion of possession. Not completely, of course, because they still need that agenda, the religious agenda, which is what all possession films pretty much are. They push that religious agenda. I'm not a huge fan of religious horror for that reason, but I still like the off-putting feeling that you get when you watch them. Well, certain ones. The director's cut of The Exorcist terrified me the first time I watched it. Granted, I was far too young when I watched it, but still, it had a lasting impression. I still remember the scene where Regan crab walks down the stairs. That scene terrified me when I was a kid. I was so freaked out. I actually dove underneath the blankets and I had nightmares so bad that night. And probably for the next few nights. The Exorcist Believer didn't have that same lasting effect. It was almost forgettable. What did you think of the film compared to the others within the franchise and compared to other possession films? I'm one of the weird ones who actually liked the second Exorcist film. Mostly because you got to see the after effects of what Regan went through and how it still was affecting her years after. That made it enjoyable for me because it's something that most possession films don't disclose or even delve into. How has that affected them? being possessed years later. Parts of that one were actually creepy as well, especially seeing the demonic version of her once more come to light. It creeped me out. Granted, again, I was far too young to have seen these movies. I shouldn't have watched them when I was 9, 8. But that's what happens when you won't stop pestering your parents to watch it with them. Because they were going to watch the films. And I wouldn't stop harassing them. So, what Exorcist film is your favorite? Which one do you despise the most? What is your favorite possession film? Or religious horror? Either one. Should I watch the others in the franchise? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below. It's much appreciated. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Don't forget to like and subscribe to show your support for myself and the channel. It's a huge help, and I so appreciate it. Next week, we'll be discussing Killer Kids, which may actually go into the summer because there's a lot to cover there and a lot of psychological stuff there, too. It's something that I actually studied back when I was in college. Mostly because I was curious as to what would make a child go to such extremes. Most of it's passion. Others, kids just couldn't take it anymore and snapped, kind of deal. So we'll be delving into all the psychology behind Killer Kids. So stay tuned for all of that, and take care until next time. Bye, everyone!